All right, guys. So we're doing something a little different again today. I'm reviewing No One Will Save You, which is a movie on Hulu, and you guys should check it out. And I'm gonna tell you, why, but I'm gonna do the spoiler part again after the review part. So I'll put a disclaimer when there's spoilers so that you know. But I really got to talk about this because that ending is like, what? And yeah, like I've watched some interviews about what the ending means and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. But it's still an okay watch, so I would recommend. Anyway, let's go. So, without further ado, No One Will Save You. So, story, plot, and premise. It's really interesting, really, really good, actually. I really like the plot, the story, the premise, obviously. I don't like how it's sold in the trailers, like this trailer, how it's a home invasion, and it's not, it's about aliens. Like they get to the point. We know it's about aliens, like even from the trailer. So I like that, but I don't know. I guess that is a good way to sell it. I don't know how I would sell it. Anyway, story, plot, and premise I did like. The underlying story of what is really going on, plus the story of what's happening with the character, like the A line, the B line, everything really worked for me. The sound design and the score, really, really good. I like it. It's really creepy. The aliens' sounds were really good. You'll know when you watch it, but it's just really good. Really good sound design and score. Cinematography. I like the cinematography. The actual, CG aliens didn't look that great, but I like the variety, that there was variety in what they look like, and also like there are some shots that are just, again, really nice. They're going to live in my head for a while. So like this shot is good. Like there's just good cinematography here. I really like it. The acting, amazing, phenomenal. Let me tell you right now, I don't know if this main character spoke more than twice in this movie. It's mostly silent. You should know that going in. There's very, very minimal dialogue. It is a woman dealing with a crisis on multiple fronts. And it's really good. It's really good. Like, the acting is so good, and the story elements of how they made this story so that she didn't really have to speak for the majority of the film is so good that I would suggest the director of this team up with another director, but also for this guy, to make the adventure, the Legend of Zelda movie. So, as you know, Nintendo has expanded and wants to make more movies because Super Mario was so good that they're actually thinking about making a Legend of Zelda. And as you know, well, those of you who know, Link, the main character in that series of games, doesn't speak. He's the main character, doesn't really talk. He has dialogue like through bubbles and stuff, but mostly everybody else talks, he doesn't talk. So I feel like this director would do really good, basically writing some kind of story, because he also wrote this movie, writing some kind of story for Legend of Zelda. So if Nintendo's listening, I would pick this guy up for that, at least for one of them, because again, story elements towards the end there, but I'm gonna get into spoilers and why I didn't like the story fully and how he could have, I think it could have been fixed a little bit. But anyway, acting, we're on acting, I don't know why I'm still talking about story. The acting is really good. I really like the main girl. She's from Dopesick and other things, and she really sold every scene she was in, like, really, really well. Everything could be said with her face. She didn't really need a lot of dialogue, which was really good. And it might have been a choice after casting her and seeing her in the role, because literally, like, there's no need for dialogue when, like, she's giving such a good performance. The directing, again, top notch. So what am I knocking this thing for? I guess the plot and premise, because I said the story could have been a little better. So I'm going to give it 4.5. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Not even going to give it a half point. 4 out of 5. I really liked it. It's good. It's on Hulu, streaming right now. You should check it out. It's good for Halloween, or for October, the whole month of Halloween. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, spoilers now. So, story, plot, and premise. Why didn't I like the story and the plot and the premise, you say? Well, as most people, you're watching this movie, right? And towards the end, you're like, what the hell is going on? So, towards the middle half there, you see the aliens kind of helping humanity, you know, putting out fires and all this other stuff. And it's like this, you know, like the thing that like it's like a parasite thing that lives inside these aliens, or I guess another part of these aliens is like a parasite thing that comes out of their throats and then goes into the throat of the person they're trying to take over. And then they give them like, I guess, this dreamlike world. And I like that they gave this girl the dreamlike world, and her dreamlike world wasn't that, you know, realistic. And also she couldn't really see the face because the girl that, you know, she basically ended up killing is dead, so they don't know what she would look like older, so that's why they blurred her face. Like, that's all good. Like, I really like that part, and how that's not her ideal thing because she knows, or she feels she doesn't deserve it, so she like spit it out, and like, you know, basically that didn't work on her. So then they kind of have like a whole therapy session where they beam her up into the ship and they all kind of like diagnose her. And instead of, you know, being like anally probed as most people would expect, she's being mentally probed. And so they kind of figure like, they kind of give her like a therapy, you know, like, oh, okay, so this is what's wrong with her. This is why she's like this. And then, but then they're like, yeah, we can't fix that. So here, we're going to put you in this world, and it's going to be just like your little idyllic village that you have in your house, you know, like basically making that into reality. And then she just goes along with it. And I'm just like, that's okay. But like, initially you feel sympathetic for her character because she didn't mean to do what she did, right? So you're like, okay, she did something bad. Whole town hates her. Don't know why. And you feel bad because you're like, oh, she did what she did, but it was a mistake, right? But then for her to like live in her fantasy world while everybody else is being manipulated in a way, like basically they're being taken over. And yeah, sure, they're in like their happy euphoric state, whatever it is in their minds, but their bodies are actually being manipulated and taken over by the thing, by this alien thing. So it's kind of like she's living with these things and she's normal, but everybody else is like not. So I don't know. And then I don't know how long term that's good for her, because at the end of the day, you know, you're not really gonna, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like that ending, it was like, to me, it would have been better if she rejected their, you know, I guess gift and helped everybody come back, even though they hated her. Because at the end of the day, that's who they are. And I feel like they would appreciate her for saving them, because even though they hate her, you know, like just the fact that they're human again is good, you know, like, and also her knowing that she did something good would be a redemption for the bad that she did. But I felt like now she just doubled down in the bad. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she murdered somebody, but now like the world is getting murdered, and she's just like, hey, let's dance to 50s music or 80s music or whatever. Unless I'm misinterpreting the ending, you know what I mean? But that's basically like they're taking over. All of the humans are taking over, because when they're dancing, they still got the stuff in their throat, so they're definitely taking over. And I guess that's a happy ending for her, I guess. But again, for how long? Because she lived in her house, isolated with her little, you know, in her little 1950s brain, whatever. And just kind of like, you know, but now she has, I guess, dolls, human puppets that she can play with. But how long until that gets, you know, boring? Because like at the end of the day, they're not really people. They're aliens. You know, they're not actually feeling the feelings that they're feeling. They're not actually there with you. You're by yourself. But I guess she's always been by herself, like most of her life, because that happened when she was a little girl. So the whole time she was in that town by herself. So I guess she's used to being alone. I don't know. And then also, is she the only one? Because then I'm like, okay, so you decided to do all this, whatever, but what if there are other people like you? There are other people that suffer traumas as well. And like, maybe their trauma can't be fixed by alien therapists. And they decided, hey, okay, we're going to leave you in this world, and you're you, and everybody else around you is an alien. And what if they find out that you're just like okay with letting people be aliens around you? I don't know. That whole thing, the whole ending kind of threw me off, because I thought it was going to be more of a, okay, this is why we are rooting for this person, because she is a good person, and now she's going to show us that she's a good person. But at the end, it's kind of like, no, you're rooting for this person. She made a mistake, and you're right, but at the end, she's still a bad person. At least in my opinion, that's a bad person. But maybe that's my interpretation. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. That's the only, like I said, flaw that I found really in the story, at least for me. And that's why I dinged it a little bit. But again, this is opinion-based, so it's up to you. All the other stuff, really, really good. Like, you know, again, the CGI could have been a little bit better, but with the budget. I like that they showed the aliens. I like that they didn't shy away from, this is what we're dealing with. There's different types, this and that. I really like that. And I like that we went back to looking at actual, like, aliens looking like aliens. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's been a while, but I like it. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you guys think down below. This has been A Useless Skill.